trees and shrubs, herbs and grasses. Ferns and moss make up the forest. The trees provide us with wood and bark. Thinning must be planned so that wind, storms, and snow do not endanger the stand or neighboring stands. The forester marks the trees to be cut down. The coniferous pole timber is thinned every 3 to 5 years. The first thinnings are carried out by one person. Using a light pole axe, the trunks are limbed at a height of 1 to 1.5 meters. A fall hard is struck, and the trunk is then cut close to the ground with a one-man saw. To facilitate the cutting of poles, the pole is placed on a trestle. It is delimbed and knotted in a single operation using a barking iron. Carrying wastes unnecessary energy. Using a rope or a pulling chain is faster and easier. The poles are stacked by class, diagonally or parallel to the direction of transport. Poles that do not meet the required length are moved to a lower class. The first thinnings primarily yield scion poles with a diameter of 2 to 7 centimeters and a length of 1.5 to 11 meters. These thin poles are suitable for vine and tomato stakes, bean poles, starch, and haystacks. Timber is sorted and measured according to the wood measuring instructions. The diameter of the poles is determined with a pole caliper 1 meter above the thicker end. Each layer has the same number of poles. Buyers prefer poles with straight cut ends. On a post driven into the head of each tier, the class and number of poles are noted. Subsequent thinning produces rough poles with a diameter of 7 to 14 centimeters and a length of 8 to 18 meters. These can be used to cut ladder trees, concrete supports, tree and paddock posts. The poles are sold by the piece, or cubic meter. Each stack is given a number. If the trees are over 14 centimeters thick, they will produce logs. The forester will inform about the sales opportunities for the individual wood species and prefer to harvest those varieties that are in demand and that promise the best returns. This tree is felled with a chainsaw in one fell swoop. As soon as the trunk is laid down, the false joint or forest bark is cut off. These are removed with an axe. To debranch the underside, the trunk is turned with a turning hook. Diseased trunks should be removed. If coniferous branches can be given as decorations and to wreath makers, they must be felled in a timely manner. Cone-bearing branches sell well during Advent and Christmas. Retailers buy long pit timber over 4 meters long and up to 20 centimeters in diameter without bark. Coniferous pit timber must always be debarked and placed on supports to dry out properly. Pistons and point sticks are used to expand the mine workings. Diseased pieces are processed for firewood. And the wood is transported by truck or, if the cutting site is located on a railway, by wagon. When felling logs, neither the trunk nor the young growth must suffer damage. The possibility of later removal must also be considered when determining the direction of the felling. Deciduous trees are usually felled in winter. Their sap has already begun to stagnate. The leaves are beginning to fall. Appropriate clothing does not hinder work and protects the body from injury. Shoes have iron toe caps. Knee pads are very important. In bad weather, a back apron is worn. Caps with sheet steel inserts or hard hats protect the head from falling branches during felling work. During transport, all cutting edges of the tools should be covered. The progressive forester uses proven equipment that bears the suitability mark of the Forestry Testing Committee. The preparation for market begins as soon as the tree is felled. The direction of fall is determined and the tool is placed opposite to the direction of fall. The base of the trunk is cleared. The young growth is bent to the side and secured to the ground with a branch fork. Think before you work. This also applies in farmers' forests. The root buttresses are hewn away unless they are required for wedging. This creates a level felling notch table. The felling notch is made shallow and deep. Its depth is about 1/5 to 1/4 of the trunk diameter. It is omitted for trunks with a small crown and missing root buttresses. The fur cut is made so that it extends about 2 fingers width above the notch base. This prevents the trunk from tearing open. Wedging prevents the saw from jamming. The forest beard remains on the trunk. Felling valuable, strong trunks requires considerable experience and technical skill. The root buttresses are hewn away. The fall notch is cut and the direction of fall is checked again. To utilize the valuable lower part, the fir cut is made as close to the ground as possible. Felling wedges, preferably made of light metal, are inserted and driven in as needed. Felling the wood is hard work. The chainsaw makes it easier. But handling the tool requires practice. The chainsaw smoothly and easily removes the root beginnings. And creates the felling core. To protect trunks with peeling wood characteristics, such as this beech, from splitting, a log press is placed about 30 to 50 centimeters above the felling cut. A chain wrapped around the trunk 2 or 3 times and tensioned with wooden wedges. For safety reasons, a deflection pulley can be used. Branches are cut cleanly. The working methods vary depending on the type of wood, location, equipment, and machinery. Here, a tractor pulls the treetop to the timber yard. This shortens the distances when setting up the laminated timber and eliminates the need to haul the timber to the laminated timber piles with a logging truck. The global demand for pulpwood is constantly increasing, but logs suitable for long timber should never be cut into pulpwood. Defects in thick rolls should be removed by splitting. Careful sorting also pays off with pulpwood. Firewood is only needed in small quantities these days. In some places, it is sold unprocessed to self-harvesters. Crooked pieces should be stored on top. The knotty knot produces sleeper pieces. Beech, oak, pine, and under certain circumstances, red oak and larch are suitable for sleeper wood. Wood with rotten knots, pronounced spiral grain, bluing in pine, and rot is unsuitable for sleepers. The sleepers are to be stacked so that they can dry thoroughly. The oak trunk is inspected from all sides. In addition to careful processing, skillful sorting and aging of the wood are essential for achieving maximum sales proceeds. This also allows the buyer to calculate accurately. The trunk end is straight shanked and not free. The annual rings are fine and evenly structured. It is therefore grade A and suitable for foraging. It is measured separately. Using a 1 meter cross-cutting rod, the trunk is measured. This is a B piece, and the top behind it forms a sleeper. B and C piece wood are generally not separated, because they usually go to the same buyer. Separating grades is usually more advantageous for the forester. This is where the C piece ends. A measuring ring is placed in the center of the trunk. Bark must be removed. Dents must be removed. For beech, the center is marked with a cross, and the bark thickness is subtracted. Larger damage to the bark would encourage the wood to stub. The quality and length of the log are marked on the end of the log with a pencil. For logs over 20 centimeters thick, the diameter is measured crosswise. For each measurement and for the average, only whole centimeters count. The diameter is marked on the end of the log and entered in the logbook. The forester advises and provides information for sales negotiations. Forestry associations or the forestry offices of the Chambers of Agriculture also use the logbooks to arrange collective sales with well-known and reliable companies. Small quantities are best sold to local buyers, but it is not recommended to sell the best logs from larger lots in advance, as the remaining stock is difficult to sell. The purchase price is calculated based on the measurement list.